Hey there, fellow movie fans. Welcome back to Best Movies. Great to have you here again. Today, we're diving into a true Hollywood classic, Sunset Boulevard. Released in 1950, this darkly comic film noir is directed by the legendary Billy Wilder. He co-wrote it with Charles Brackett and D.M. Marshman Jr. The story follows Joe Gillis, a struggling screenwriter played by William Holden. He gets pulled into the twisted fantasy world of Norma Desmond, a forgotten silent film star, brought to life by the incredible Gloria Swanson. The film also features Erich von Stroheim as her devoted butler. You'll also see appearances by Nancy Olson, Jack Webb, and even legendary director Cecil B. DeMille, playing himself. Keep an eye out for silent-era icons like Buster Keaton, Anna Q. Nielsen, and H.B. Warner popping up too. Sunset Boulevard was a massive critical success. It earned 11 Oscar nominations and won 3. It's widely considered one of the greatest films ever made. The U.S. Library of Congress has preserved it for its cultural and historical importance. Stay tuned as we explore why this haunting, razor-sharp Hollywood tale still feels so powerful today. Alright, let's kick things off by diving into the movie plot. At a mansion on Sunset Boulevard, police officers and photographers discover the body of Joe Gillis, floating face down in the swimming pool. In a flashback, Joe relates the events leading to his death. 6 months earlier, Joe, down on his luck, tries to interest Paramount Pictures in a story he submitted. Script reader Betty Schaefer harshly critiques it, unaware that Joe is listening. Later, while fleeing from repo men seeking his car, Joe turns into the driveway of a seemingly deserted mansion. It's inhabited by forgotten silent film star Norma Desmond. Learning that Joe is a writer, Norma asks his opinion of a script she's written for a film about Salome. She plans to play the role herself in her return to the screen. Joe finds her script terrible but flatters her into hiring him as a script doctor. Joe moves into Norma's mansion at her insistence. He sees that Norma refuses to believe her fame has vanished. Her butler, Max, secretly writes all of the fan mail she receives to maintain the illusion. At her New Year's Eve party, Joe realizes Norma has fallen in love with him. He tries to let her down gently, but Norma slaps him and retreats to her room, distraught. Joe visits his friend Artie Green and meets Betty again, who thinks a scene in one of Joe's scripts has potential. When he phones Max to have him pack his things, Max tells him Norma has cut her wrists with his razor. Joe returns to Norma, and their relationship becomes sexual. Norma has Max deliver the edited Salome script to her former director, Cecil B. DeMille, at Paramount. She starts getting calls from executive Gordon Cole, but refuses to speak to anyone except DeMille. Eventually, Max drives her and Joe to Paramount in her 1929 Isotta Fraschini. DeMille welcomes her affectionately and treats her with respect, but tactfully avoids her questions about the script. Max later learns that Cole only called because he wants to rent her car for a film. Preparing for her imagined comeback, Norma undergoes intense beauty treatments. Meanwhile, Joe secretly works nights with Betty, writing an original screenplay. She eventually confesses that she has fallen for him. After learning of Joe's secret writing, Max reveals he was once a respected director. He discovered Norma, made her a star, and was her first husband. After their divorce, he gave up his career to serve her. Norma finds the manuscript with Joe and Betty's names on it. She phones Betty and implies that Joe is not who she thinks he is. Joe overhears the call and invites Betty to the mansion to see the truth. When she arrives, he pretends he's satisfied being a gigolo so that she'll go back to Artie. After she leaves in tears, Joe packs to return to his old job in Dayton, Ohio. He tells Norma there will be no comeback. He reveals Max writes her fan mail, and that she has been forgotten. Norma threatens to kill herself, but Joe ignores her. As he walks away, Norma shoots him 3 times. He collapses into the pool. The flashback ends. The story returns to the present. Norma is about to be arrested for murder. The mansion is swarming with police and reporters. Norma believes the cameras are for a movie. Max pretends to direct her. The police play along. As the cameras roll, Norma descends the staircase. At the bottom, she stops and delivers an impromptu speech. She says she's happy to be making a film again. Then she says, "All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up," and walks toward the camera. Now let's dive into the review and break things down. Is a dark, noir-style drama that pulls back the curtain on Hollywood. It shows the ruthless, cutthroat side of the film industry. With its twisted timeline and sharp humor, the movie dives deep into themes like power, greed, ambition, love, obsession, vanity, delusion, and the fear of being forgotten. All these flaws come together in a haunting finale that sticks with viewers long after. Billy Wilder, writer, director, and producer, was one of the biggest names of Hollywood's golden age. He started writing for local newspapers, then moved into screenwriting, and later directing. In his own cheeky way, he once joked that he started directing just to stop other directors from ruining his scripts. Wilder wasn't new to success. He won 6 Oscars during his career. One of those was for Sunset Boulevard, which he co-wrote with Charles Brackett and D.M. Marshman Jr. The film was nominated for 11 Oscars and won 3: Best Screenplay, Best Art Direction, and Best Score. It also swept the Golden Globes, winning Best Film, Best Director, Best Score, and Best Actress in a Drama for Gloria Swanson. The film opens with an unforgettable sequence on Hollywood's famous Sunset Boulevard. The camera glides along until we see the murder, Joe Gillis, floating in the pool. In a clever twist, Joe's dead body becomes the narrator. His ghost tells us the story. The film rewinds 6 months and shows how Joe ended up there. This isn't about who did it, it's about how and why. That's what keeps you watching. Wilder doesn't rely on a surprise ending. Instead, he builds tension as Joe gets pulled deeper into old Hollywood's dark side. Through flashback and Joe's dry narration, we see his struggle as a broke writer. Then he meets Norma Desmond, an aging silent film star. She's like a Hollywood version of Miss Havisham from Great Expectations. She's stuck in the past, living in a decaying mansion, trapped in her own illusions. Joe and Norma's relationship is toxic. He needs money and survival. She needs a comeback and someone to believe in her lies. Joe writes her script. She clings to him. But the deeper he gets, the more he realizes, he's in a trap built from her madness and his own selfishness. He finally tries to escape, but it's too late. Norma has lost touch with reality. It all ends in a chilling climax. Her fantasy is broken. Her mind is gone, and Joe, back where we started, dead in the pool. Beyond the story, Sunset Boulevard is also a love letter to silent cinema. It includes real silent film stars like Buster Keaton, Anna Q. Nielsen, and even Cecil B. DeMille. But it's also a harsh critique of Hollywood, where fame fades fast, and people are used and tossed aside. That's what makes this film timeless. It's layered, bold, and still hits hard, because it's really about human weakness, ambition, and the fear of being forgotten. And finally, I hope you'll take the time to watch this movie all the way through, and enjoy every moment. I'd be happy to hear your thoughts about it in the comments.